So another tip for you, I'm pleased to hear that you're having massages and therapy.
Yeah.
But I find that there's a place that talking therapy can't go beyond. And that is trauma that is stored in the body that you're not even consciously aware of. Have you heard of that book, The Body Keeps the Score?
Yeah.
So it was written in the 70s, but it's back in the bestseller list, which is making me feel hopeful that more people are realising that since the pandemic that we've got trauma stored in our bodies. So I've actually recently been doing some somatic therapy called body realignment. And it seemed to be, for me, surfacing emotions that I perhaps don't allow myself to in talking therapy or in regular life. I think there are some emotions, for example, anger, that it's quite still socially unacceptable for women to express.
That's a good point. Yeah, women aren't allowed to get super angry, I guess.
When I did boxing, I actually felt like I released a lot of anger as well. That I can only do that physically, whether it's through a sport or this kind of body thing. And I think for men, it might be things more like sadness that it's not socially acceptable to express as much.
Yeah, probably so. I think a little bit, even though it's more now, I think people are now everything's a little bit more free. What type of trauma really can get held in our bodies?
Oh, all sorts. So that phrase psychosomatic is that all the various emotions that we can feel can end up showing up as physical symptoms in our body. And that can be actual illness, but also it can just be aches and pains. For me, it's like tense shoulders and just aches and pains. But when I actually had the body realignment therapy, there were parts of my body that I wouldn't even think, kind of like the size of my ribs and things, that was so painful. And the therapists, they know which parts of your body can, certain emotions get stored in. So I think for that one, you really have to find someone that can guide you through that. But the point another point that I really wanted to make is we talk a lot about trauma. And like you set such a great example to people of don't just keep focusing on the trauma and be a victim. I actually think we have as much access to generational healing as we do to generational trauma. So, horrific things have happened in the past, like the Holocaust, apartheid, slavery, the treatment of the first Americans.
Yeah, France winning the World Cup as well, some people would say.
That was bad.
It was pretty... Oh.
Yeah, well, it affect people for generations into the
some
future.
People it will.
Yeah, totally.
Some people it will. But what were you going to say?
So I was going to say that we can also get access to ancestral or ancient wisdom. And if we put that together with the somatic stuff, think about what our ancestors did when they didn't really have resources spare to have fun, right? But they danced, they drummed, they chanted, they hummed, they sang, they painted. These physical activities are actually really good for us and can help us to release some of that stored trauma. So I'd love people to go away with that message that, yes, you might have stored trauma that talking therapy hasn't completely got rid of, but there are things that you can do at home. You don't have to pay for a massage. You can do self-massage, you can take a bath, you can dance around your living room, and all of these things could also help you to release that kind of trauma.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed how there will be times where I've done yoga and a certain thing, and then I'll lay down after it, and tears will come out of my face.
Really?
And it's just pain, something being released. Sometimes a memory or something might be with it, or a feeling. But it's pretty amazing that kind of thing can happen.
In yoga, hip opening particularly releases a lot of emotion. So again, people can Google some of the hip opening poses, and you're supposed to stay in them for longer, like 5 minutes. And if it produces tears, then it's definitely helping release trauma.
Yeah.